Good morning and welcome back to the channel. This is the 747-8 or 748 as most commonly called. This is or was developed by PMDG, Precision Decision Manuals. So this video is just going to go into a bit about the aircraft and the differences between what you might be accustomed to in terms of setting it up if you have the 747-400 and how things have changed. Now the setup process for this is going to be a little bit different to what you might be accustomed to if you haven't flown the 747 within the last 3 weeks, and you'll find as well that since the update the 747 actually sets up the same way. So let's go inside and have a look. So you can see we now have a electronic flight bag, which is like the tablet on the left side and the right side, one for each pilot. Displays are bigger and there's a lot more information being produced as well. And you've got less buttons when it comes to the radio stacks and stuff like that. So what we're going to do first of all is power up the aircraft, and then we're going to go through the setup process, and I'll point out a few items that PMDG call gotchas. On the PMDG website, it has an error in terms of doing the air cards or data link, so I'll point that out to you as well. So let's give the aircraft some power. We've already got the GPUs outside, so we just connect them here. I really don't need anything up here for the tutorial, so I'll just go through, leave it at that. So as you can see straight away for the displays, we've got our engine readings as usual. We've got our warning list coming down, starting from brake source and going down to the TCAS system. What we have in addition now is stabilizer information. Flaps information is hidden because the flaps are up, and once I've set up the aircraft further, you then see your pitch indicator showing on top here as well. So down to the FMC, you've got the usual options PMDG setup for items pertaining to the aircraft itself, FSS actions for items pertaining to like fueling, payload and stuff like that. And just under FMC you're going to see D-Link, which stands for data link. In the past you never had this because it used to be done automatically. So when you needed to request wins, alternates, performance and stuff like that, all of this is actually handled through data link, which is a form of A cards. But since the update about 2-3 days ago, this is no longer the case, so you have to manually do this function on the 747-400 as well as the 748. So setup as usual, you click on your FMC. I'm going to do my position initialization just to let the aircraft know exactly where we are. I went too far. There we go. So that chime shows that I'm in. Now in the past we either put in our origin and our destination, and then we manually put in the legs, or if you did your flight planning through PFPX, SimBrief, or one of those third-party applications, you can just put the name in the core route here, and then it will manually drag the information or automatically drag the information into the FMS. If you do that, everything will still work, your flight plan will still come in, but you won't have the option to request wins, request performance, or request your alternates and so forth. So what you need to do is put in your origin. So I am at Munich, which is Echo Delta Delta Mike. So that's my origin, and I'm heading to San Francisco. So that is Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar. Now on the PMDG website, it says that this is all the information that you actually need. That you don't have to put in your flight number. That is actually incorrect. If I go down here now to try to do the data link, pre-flight, actually it's done corrected. It is correct. Right, so it's not mandatory to put in the flight information. I tried this a couple minutes ago and it didn't work. So if you find that you did this part and this information doesn't come up, put in the flight number, because the last two attempts that I did, I didn't put in the flight number and it wouldn't work. It just told me no data connection. So it might be a glitch, it might not be. The information you're going to put in here now would be your estimated time of departure. So it is now 11:22 Zulu. Let's say I'm gonna try for 12:15 Zulu. So 1215, and then my estimated time en route. So I'm going to be looking at, let's see here, 12 hours and 28 minutes. So I put that here under ETE for KSFO. And then you see it says init data cancel sync. And that's pretty much it. Now I can go here, put in my core route. Now you see you've got the chime there and it says send request. So I can either put in my core route now, or I can send my request and then wait for the information to come in. Now you see down here it says data link active. Uplink ready. I load. And there's my route in now. Can activate and then proceed as normal. Performance page. I can request the information again. Request sent. Information available for uplink. Tells me my wind data uplink is ready, and I can always then import my wind for the different flight levels on the route. So that's the difference between the regular setting up in the past and now setting up in after the update 3 days ago. If you don't follow those steps, you won't be able to request those information that you need for your flight, and it's not something that you can do after you've pushed back. It has to be part of your pre-flight process. Alright, over to the EFB. I just close off my flight here so I have fresh information. So this is how your EFB or electronic flight bag is going to look when you first power the aircraft. You click initialize, it brings up your flight information. You can then go into performance, terminal charts and stuff like that. With the 748, you'll be able to actually see your taxi your airport charts here, if you reduce the range sufficient enough, I have to activate the flight, but you're going to see that the airport diagram comes out here as well. You can see your diagrams on here as well if you wish, but I find it more convenient for it to be up here on the display rather than looking down at the EFB, because you see when I look down, I actually can't see ahead of me where I'm taxiing. Now, one thing that I like about this is that with the EFB, it allows me to customize it for just the information that I need for each portion of the flight. So right now I'm concerned with the taxiing, I'm concerned with the airport, I'm concerned with the departure, so the SID, and I can actually customize that here. So I click on terminal charts. The information is in there already because it's linked with the actual aircraft, so I just click complete, and then I can choose my information for Munich or for San Francisco. By default, it brings up just the information for the airport. If I click on edit clip, I can bring up other ones, and then I can select actually what I want for this. So on this, what I want would be, I've got the airport one already. I am going to be doing the Golf India Victor Mike 1 November departure. So you can see the green tick in there showing that I have the airport charts already if I need. Any other things that I want to have here I can have. So let's go for that departure thing. So I click on it, it's highlighted, I click complete, and now I have two charts here. You can add as much there as you think you need, and you can take away as well. So this is going to be my departure. The scrolling of the mouse wheel makes it bigger. I can also hold it and move it around if need be. You can also do performance here, but so far the performance seems limited because it doesn't allow me to calculate based on wet conditions or anything different to what is actually normal. So here for thrust rating I can use takeoff, or I can use derate if I wish. I can choose my runway, let's say 26 right. Flat configuration I can choose 20 flaps. Air conditioning on, anti-ice off. Gives you your gross rate. It doesn't give you your CG, but you can always type this in as well. It pulls in my QNH based on what the aircraft has. I can also copy the information from the FMC, and then it updates it accordingly. So yeah, leave that there for now. Go back to my terminal charts. And now we're going to look at the electronic flight list. This, if you have the 777, you will be familiar with, whereas with the 747 it never had it before. So I just click on checklist here. One thing that you need to be aware of, no matter where you are clicking on this, it only takes instructions from the magenta line. So if I click on reset, I click on non-normal, or I click on normal menu, I'm actually going to be clicking on oxygen because that's where the magenta line goes around. So the best way to navigate this is not to use your pointer, but to use your mouse wheel to scroll around. So you can scroll up and down with my mouse wheel, but if I want to select an item, it has to be surrounded by that magenta line. So I've got my normal checklist, I can reset it. I've got my normal checklist. So prefect checklist, you've got your oxygen, you can tick it then, and then once you've ticked it, it automatically goes to the other. There will be some items that you cannot click, just like on the 777 if you're familiar with it. items like flaps, items like your landing gear, speed brake. Unless you actually do these items, they would remain unticked. But for the majority of them, once you have the magenta line surrounding it and you click on it, it will then tick. In terms of the radios, they are a bit different. Now you have the buttons to dial it in rather than using the scroll wheels. So for example, if I wanted to go to 122-8 Unicom, I just type it in, transfer, and it's there. Same thing with your transponder, it's buttons now rather than scrolling. There's no enter or anything, it automatically takes it. And I think that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to do in the video. I'm going to set up for the flight now, and then I'll do another video with the takeoff. I don't think I've missed anything. If there's something that I left out and you want me to cover, something that you're not sure about that I didn't explain perfectly, just leave a comment in the section below and I'll be sure to reply. I hope that this video was informative for you guys and you enjoyed it. Before I go, there's something that I noticed with this, which I don't know if it has changed because I haven't flown the 747-400 since the update, since I've had this aircraft. But I know in the past, whenever you load it in, your aircraft always had full fuel. With the 748, this is not the case. Also, as you've seen, the GPU and the air unit outside, these are loaded with the aircraft when you first load in the sim. It's not something that I've added for the video. This is what is coming like when I have it cold and dark. It's always like this with the ground power connected and the air power connected as well. But the aircraft is not full like before. So if I go to my fuel options here, you'll see that I only have 10,000 on the fuel in each tank, which is great because for persons who like to simulate the whole experience where you've got an aircraft that you need to refuel, you're going to be doing boarding and stuff like that. For this, it means that you don't have to go take out fuel then tell the system to fuel up. It's already empty, so you can just go into your FS actions and you get there by going back to your menu. Here we go. I can then go to my ground operations, give it a turnaround time. So I've given it an hour and 30 minutes for turnaround. The fuel that I need for the flight would be 304,904 pounds of fuel. So I then just tell it here that I want 305,000. So I tell it that's what I need for plan. My lift is 264,649 pounds, and that will now tell PMDG. As you can see, the fuel truck is coming now, so it tells PMDG to send the fuel truck and it will start doing fueling. With this aircraft, all the vehicles that you need for getting the flight started is included. So you've got the fuel truck there. You're gonna find that shortly after, you're gonna find, as you can see now, the baggage loader is coming as well. Catering is gonna come, and you're also gonna have the cleaners coming as well. Now, if you don't have GSX, this is a bonus. You won't see like the characters driving the vehicles, but it is flawless for the most part. They go where they're supposed to go. They'll be timed with the actual fueling, whereas if you're using GSX, you have to time it, or you find that by the time that you're finished boarding, you might not finish fueling, you can't shut the doors, and if you haven't disabled the beeping, then GSX beeps consistently, which can be quite annoying. For persons who don't have GSX, it's just a bonus in making it a bit more immersive for you. You can, if you have GSX, you can either disable all the PMDG vehicles, or you can disable the vehicles from GSX that you don't want, um, because of the ones that you already have provided with PMDG. And I believe that is everything now. We've done the EFB, we've done the data link and how to set it up, we've done the electronic flight list, so I've just shown you the pre-flight part of it, and I've told you about how to actually interact with it rather than just pointing. Use the mouse wheel so you can navigate around it, and that is pretty much it. Like I said, if there's anything that I might have skipped, let me know, and I'll do another video and try to include it. For now, take care, have a good day, and speak to you soon. See ya.